Hey everyone, how are we? Just doing a quick all signs reading today. We're looking at, the most important things that you should know right now in order to follow your dreams. Okay, make sure you do leave a comment on one of the videos so that you do go in the draw for that free personal reading that's running all through November. So each video you will be able to add an entry just by leaving a comment. Okay, today we are going to be using the Mystic Dreams Oracle deck and clarifying everything with the maybe lenormand. Okay, so this is a deck that does have quite a fair few extra cards in that, so we get a bit of extra information as well. Timestamps, as always, will be in the description box, so you're more than welcome to jump ahead and check different placements or whatever. Okay, so starting off today with Aries. Okay, Aries, what does Aries need to know in regard to following their dreams? Aries, what do you need to know to be following your dreams, please? Oh, travel, promotion, and reaching your goals. Okay, so you may actually have to make an effort to travel somewhere. It doesn't even need to be like a huge distance. It could just be, something that you, in order to reach those goals, that you just need to. Because I'm getting like regular travel coming up, that you're sort of leveling up here. It's not necessarily to do with, promotion, but it's kind of like a leveling up towards the goals that you have here, where, I'm getting the phrase, the whole world in your hands, but it feels just like the need to make an effort to travel out of your normal little comfort zone, I suppose. So you may be just having to travel somewhere, but it feels more regularly, like this is some sort of regular thing that you are doing in order to reach those goals, Aries. So don't be afraid of a little bit of distance. All right, it's part of leveling up. It's part of I'm getting the effort that you show the universe, that you're willing to put into reaching those goals. That you can't just sit around at home and expect these goals to just land in your lap, Aries. Clarifying that message for you, Aries. Important messages for Aries in order to follow their dreams, please. Ooh, Aries. We have a love relationship. Okay, we have the heart and the ring coming out straight away. So, this has probably got to do with a love relationship for some of you. So it's kind of, when it combines with that travel, it's like, yeah, you're needing to travel towards someone, needing to close that distance between yourself and someone in order to reach those goals that you have within your own self. It's all about this love relationship. Okay, and love is a lot more than just, romantic. This could just be a relationship with somebody that you have that unconditional love with, although it is sort of lending itself a little bit more to romance here in the energy that's coming through. We also have the anchor coming through. This is your little it's kind of coming through with this weird message, Aries, of like, it feels like you're drowning. It feels like you're being dragged down into the depths of the ocean by this love, but that's not what's happening. This is actually part of that leveling up. This is part of how we reach those goals, is we need to, take the chance to be pulled down into our depths, and understand that that anchor is just a security. It's a something that we can rely on. This is a love that we can rely on. This is a relationship that actually is dependable and secure. That this is, every time it's coming up with the part of the ship message again here too, that this is, it may feel like you're being dragged, held down in place, but this is the anchor, the thing that's going to hold you steady no matter what storm comes throughout your life from here on out. That this relationship is your anchor to everything, to leveling up, to reaching your goals. Okay, Aries, so that's what we have for you. So, yeah, once again, don't be afraid to put in that effort to close that distance and that regular travel. once again, it doesn't need to be a huge distance. It could just be traveling to somebody's home, that kind of thing, making that a regular travel that you're undertaking, Aries. Okay, so that's what we have for you. Make sure you do leave a comment so you go in the draw for that free personal reading, and we will move on over to our Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, important messages for Taurus to follow their dreams. Taurus. Ooh, we have some transformational energy for you here with the butterfly card. Change, successful, and over the moon. So there's something here about being over the moon. So being taken up into space and beyond, infinity and beyond is coming through here. That you've wished upon a star and now you're transforming and being taken out across the moon. I don't know what that means for you personally there, Taurus, but to the moon and back, to infinity and beyond. That I keep getting those messages coming through. But this is a successful transformation in your life, things changing in a good way for you. You're now able to sort of fly and be free. There's a lot of freedom coming through with that as well, Taurus. Important messages for Taurus in order to follow their dreams, please. I'm also hearing open yourself up to the change. So don't hide away from the change, accept the change. Okay, very interesting. This is very, very clear what this is about for you here, Taurus. We see the ring coming through first, followed by the fish. So this is your relationship with money, your relationship with abundance and wealth. And like I said, even though that is the money card, it is first and foremost the abundance card. Okay, and abundance can be a lot more than just money. So it's the things that make you feel fulfilled, the things that make you feel like you're the richest person in the world. And sometimes that's not money. Because at the end of the day, money is a means to an end. We might say we want XYZ amount of money, but really it's because we want to either buy that certain amount of money or we're looking for some sort of sense of security for that amount. Okay, so it's not the actual money that's important, it's the abundance that brings into our life. And your relationship with abundance is what's changing, is what's transforming, is what you're now sort of opening yourself up to learn and grow. We also have the tree coming through there as well, Taurus. So there's healing, there's growth there. Okay, there's a maturity, dealing with things in a much wiser kind of a way than what you may have in the past. And this is all to do with what makes you feel abundant and how you're approaching abundance and how you're bringing abundance into your life. Okay, so that's what the change is. And, it's going to, be sending you across the stars. It's going to be a lot of positive change coming through when it comes to your abundance and money. Okay, Taurus. So keep on going with that. And like I said, I'm just feeling the need to reiterate that money is the means to the end. So make sure you're not just focusing on the money, but you're focusing on what I want the money for. Okay, and that's what you're focusing on. That's the abundance. All right, so it's just feeling important there as well. But make sure you do leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading. And we will move on over to our Geminis. Okay. Gemini. Important messages for Gemini in order to follow their dreams. Gemini, what do you need to know in order to follow your dreams, Gemini? Ooh, we have the confusion card coming through for you, Gemini, that says confusion up in the air, scattered. You just don't know what to do right now about this situation. You don't know what steps to take towards those goals, those dreams and goals that you have. You kind of have this, and for some of you, the actual dream itself is a little bit clouded as well. And you're really just trying to find that clarity of, hang on, what is it I'm moving towards here? Why is it all up in the air? Why does it feel like, it could be a multitude of different things? Let's see if we can get some clarity for you on that, Gemini. Okay, Gemini, what does Gemini need to know in order to follow their dreams, please? You will have you will have some personal revelations in regard to this, some clarity, okay? We have the sun coming through first, and if the sun does nothing else, it brings things to light. It really helps, clear the confusion and the scattered up in the air energy, and it sort of just shows us, and I just feel like all you need to hear, Gemini, is what would make you happiest. What would actually make you happy? It may not be the things that everyone tells you, or, society pushes are the things that everyone should do, everyone should have as their goals. It's all about you and what makes you feel happiest. Okay, there's some things coming to light within you. Some personal epiphanies are going to be occurring, especially with this ring here as well. So for a lot of you, this has got to do with relationships, okay, and the way that we give and receive. We have the flowers there as well. So it's the more, it's an understanding of what you're giving your time, your love, your energy to, or who you're giving your time, your love, your energy to, and it's kind of, are you receiving back from those people in return? Who makes you happiest in your life? What makes you happiest? What relationships, truly make you the happiest? And what relationships do you truly feel that you get back what you give? Okay, when that comes to, the combinations of time, love, energy, all those sorts of things, even actual gifts, some of you coming in there as well. Some of you are wanting to sort of, I'm getting some of you, the flowers are coming in kind of hot and heavy with that sun there, that happiness. I'm sort of seeing you, Gemini, giving flowers to someone, saying, I just wanted to see you smile. And you're just giving someone flowers, or something along those lines, just because it makes you happy to do so. So really think about who those people in your life are, and that will help clear that confusion for you, and help you sort of know what steps to take next in order to, continue down that path of happiness for your own self here. Okay, because I do feel as though some of you are just a little bit up in the air about what you should do. If you don't know what to do, come in with gifts. That's going to, and it doesn't need to be gifts of flowers or anything physical either. It can just be the gift of your effort and the gift of your love and time. Okay, so you're just needing to, that feels like the first step for those of you who still feel a bit up in the air about that. The first step is moving towards the things you want, and it doesn't really matter how you do that. It's kind of just sort of even just saying, that's what I want. That's the long-term goal, and then everything else kind of falls back to ground for you there, and the steps are much easier. Okay, Gemini, so that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements. Make sure you leave a comment on the video so you can go in the draw for the free personal reading, and we will move on over to our Cancers. Okay, Cancer. Important messages for Cancer to follow their dreams. Full of promise, grounded and in reach. You can see the moon sitting on the beach there. So this is interesting because the moon is very commonly associated with your emotional sides, especially being there on a beach with all the water in the background. Water is another emotional kind of symbolism, but also intuition and trusting, just trusting yourself, and knowing that you are quite grounded, and that your intuition is trying to pull the things that you want into your reach here, that there is a lot of promise, and it's kind of this fullness that is available to you, Cancer. You just need to, I'm getting, reach out and grab it. So you're needing to trust your intuition and feel that draw, that pull, like the tide wants to drag you out into that emotion. You need to go with that a little bit at the moment, Cancer. If you do wish to, reach those goals, you need to trust yourself and trust your emotion, and allow the emotion to pull you. It's not under, it's pull you out with the tide kind of energy. Be magnetized towards the things that you desire in your life. Just 1 second, that's someone at my door. Sorry about that weird little pause there, Cancer. That is actually, there is a secondary message in that, because that was a plumber, All right. And we were just talking about water and following the flow of the water and allowing that to pull us out with the tide and the emotion. Okay. And so it kind of, I'm just getting a secondary message with that timing, that it's very muchly about, even when it feels like things are going wrong and those emotions are flowing out of control, that things can be fixed. And there's a reason, there's a method to the madness. And these things are happening for reasons, and trust your emotions on them. Okay, so just a bit of a random extra message there, Cancer, but we'll have a look here with the Lenormand as well. Important messages for Cancer: to follow your dreams, please. Okay, so very interesting here. Firstly, we have the crossroad coming through here. So, at the end of the day, even though I'm telling you to follow your intuition, you still have free will. Okay, you do still have free will. It's your choice at the end of the day. But, it does feel as though there's a weird kind of message coming through here, because we have the dog coming through next. Okay, and the dog generally talks about friendship and, people that you are loyal to, and, um, it's kind of giving me this message of trusting your friends' decisions, because they're loyal to you, they're supportive of you, they understand, they're compassionate, they just want what's best for you as well, Cancer. So listening to your intuition, but also being very grounded in, trusting your friends' decisions for you and listening to their point of view as well. Okay, so their opinions and their guidance is kind of relevant to the situation as well, for you here. That particular friend, probably an Aries, Leo, or a Capricorn. We have the bear coming through there as well, or a Libra with the crossroad there as well. But the bear here talks about, nurturing and protecting. So keeping in mind here that, yes, we're listening to what our friends, the decisions that our friends would make in our place. But we're also understanding that they're coming from a protective, nurturing place. They just want what's best for you. They want you to have solid boundaries. But they also, there is this energy of, for some of you, this is what your intuition is taking you towards, is this person that is very loyal to you, but you're still needing to consciously choose that pathway. Just clarify this message for Cancer, please. Clarify or reword. Yeah, so we have the fireplace and the little piggy card here, which is the market and kind of energy here, that you're not selling yourself short. You're getting as much out of things as you possibly can, and you're getting a lot of guidance from this fireplace energy, which is your, that fire, that passion deep down within you. So that's your intuition, the fire, the passion, what you're feeling emotionally drawn to. There's this energy of like, it feels like it's going to burn you alive. It feels like you're going to market and you're going to be chopped up into little pieces. But the end result of that is becoming something new, something more. Then, it's like this trial by fire, that you're having to consciously choose this because it's what's right for you. Very I don't like the vagueness of that message. I'm not going to lie, Cancer. You may want to check your other placements as well, especially your moon sign with such strong moon energy coming out for you there, Cancer. But yeah, definitely check another placement. Or if you know who that dog bear energy is, it's a strong, confident friend, very kind of maybe a little bit bossy even, I'm picking up, but they just want to protect you and care for you. If you know who that person is, they're loyal to you, very loyal to you. Maybe check their placement as well. But do leave a comment on the video so that you can go in the draw for that free personal reading. And we will move on over to our Leos. Leo, important messages for Leo to follow their dreams, please. Important messages for Leo in regard to following your dreams, Leo. Ooh, travel, promotion, reaching your goals. The journey starts here. Don't be afraid of the distance that you need to take. This is all about a leveling up. It's you're going to be reaching those goals, but there's a journey that must be undertaken in order to do so. Okay, it's like if you travel to another city, that's the end goal, is that city, but there's stops that need to be made along the way. All right, you need to stop for fuel, you need to stop for food, all those sorts of things. You need to make sure you're recharged and fully fueled. That's coming through. So you're not going to be moving forward if you yourself are not fully fueled. Okay, Leo, but let's have a look here and see what else wants to come through. Important messages for Leo in regard to following your dreams. Aries did have that card as well, so some of you may want to check the Aries placement if you have strong Aries. It's kind of showing me the end goal here. Okay, the third card, I've got two cards here, but then the third card, we have the nursemaid. Okay, so this has got to do with either an actual baby, like an actual child that you're wanting or wanting to welcome in. And when I say baby, it could just be, like the baby, a baby can be a lot more than just a human baby, right? It can be the birth of a business, the birth of something important in your life. But it's also talking about being cared for, because we see that that's the nursemaid really taking care of the baby, checking on the baby. So it's that nurturing, caring energy that your end goal is this little baby. Okay, so regardless of whether that's an actual baby or the birth of something new into your world here. And then it shows us the steps. We have two of the celestial cards coming through here, the moon and then the stars. The moon is telling us that your intuition is guiding you directly towards these goals and dreams already. That the star is your wishes coming true. The star is knowing that your wishes will come true, that your dreams will be fulfilled, your goals will be achieved. Having hope and optimism, even when the emotions feel like too much. All right, that you need to travel through the emotions in order to get to the goals. All right, and that goal of being nurtured or having a baby in some sort of fashion here. So it's going to be slightly different for each of you within the collective, but for some of you I'm picking up very clearly that it is an actual baby, that's the goal. And some of you it's something about the way that you're being cared for. And others of you, yet again, it's the birth of something brand new into your life, like a new business. Okay, so it's riding the tide of the emotions. All right, and moving, not having the hope within you to know that your dreams will come true. Focusing on the goal, not losing sight of the goal, and allowing your intuition to magnetically draw you to the right path where those goals are achieved. Okay, Leo, so you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe and leave a comment so that you go in the draw for that free personal reading. And we will move on over to our Virgos. All right, Virgo. Important messages for Virgo in order to follow your dreams, Virgo. Following your dreams, Virgo. Whoa, okay. Castle in the Sky card. Well, it's not really in the sky. Okay, we have see the tower on the island here. This says journey, confidence, attainment, and refuge. Okay, so it's like a refuge because you're safe on this little island and there's only one way in and one way out kind of thing. But it's achieving that peace, achieving, the journey is, the more confident that you I know this is the pinnacle. I know that this is the safety, the refuge, the safe place to be here. So the dream, you know, you're so close, Virgo, that you're about to obtain a facet of that dream, that goal, and it's going to make you realize like how much of a refuge that goal is to you, and how much obtaining that brings you this sense of peace, and how much the journey has been scary, yes, but also beautiful. You're finding a lot more confidence to. I'm kind of getting like finagle the other little bits, because it's like it's kind of showing me like one piece of the puzzle falls into place, and knowing that that's the right piece, that's perfect, that's exactly where that fits in my life. It just gives you this like sense of peace washing over you, and it then gives you so much more confidence to know where the other little pieces all fit. It's like that was the piece that unlocks everything, and you're nearly there. You're like so close. All right. Virgo, important messages for Virgo to follow their dreams. Firstly, we have the shattered mirror coming through for you here, Virgo. So there is the need to, it's a little bit of shadow work type energy here, Virgo, but it's also understanding that no matter how broken you have felt in the past, that all those pieces can be collected and turned into something brand new. That looking inside yourself and realizing that you're not broken, you're just creating something different. You may not be a mirror anymore, but you now have the opportunity to become something else altogether. And you can still reflect the confidence within your own self to know that you still, like, there's still a lot of like use coming through. It's coming through like, it's pretty much telling me that, well, even if the mirror is broken, you can still use it as a mirror. You can still see yourself. You can still look within. So it's even, it's kind of, and it's telling me about the, I can't remember what it's called, but in Japan, we hear it all the time as a thing, but they, if something's broken, they don't throw it out. They repair it with gold. And it's kind of like that's what you're doing with your own self here. The more that you're looking within, the more you're able to then repair those broken pieces. And you're making the choice to do so. You know that that's the right path for you to follow. That looking within is part of your path and part of this journey, part of the journey and the destination. That you'll never get to that refuge if you don't find it within yourself first and choose to, find the uses within the broken pieces, that they can still be used for things. So I know that's a bit, woo, but then we see the child coming through for you as well, Virgo. So it's you're not forgetting to have fun along the way and just enjoying the journey and enjoying the adventure, knowing that, having that confidence, knowing that your dreams are within reach, that refuge is just, almost right in your little hands. But so it's really, really enjoying and knowing that the future stretches beyond where you are right now, that you're just a babe in the world, and it's time to start taking those first steps towards your goals, and knowing that the more that you see that as an adventure, a call to adventure, a call to embrace the journey and take it on, that you will achieve your goals. Okay, so a bit of playful fun energy there, necessary along the way. Okay, Virgo, so that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements, but make sure you do leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading. And we will move on over to Libra. Okay, Libra, important messages for Libra in regard to following your dreams. Libra, important messages for Libra in regard to following your dreams. Wow, okay. That was quite a few. That was quite a few cards, but they kind of all make sense. Okay, what I'm going to do, these are the 3 cards that came flying out at us here, Libra. Okay, and now this central energy, 2 sides, cluttered mind, smoke screen. Okay, so then we see the 2 sides of that card. One side, there's that smoke screen, yeah? The cluttered mind. You can even see in the imagery here, the cluttered mind. It says confusion, up in the air, scattered, very, very confused, cluttered energy. There is a smoke screen, clouded judgment, clouded thoughts, confusion on one side of your self here, on one side of your, it's kind of like, for some of you, I'm feeling it's because you don't even see your own dreams clearly. You're really having trouble cutting through the smoke and seeing exactly what it is that you actually have as a goal, have as a dream, have as a wish for yourself here. On the other side of that, we see grounded, full of promise, within reach. So even though things look crazy and confused, the answers are all actually within reach, within you here. Trusting your intuition, and there is a promise here of, once we clear the confusion and we have a bit more clarity on what it is that we're actually aiming here for, all of a sudden we realize, oh wow, I'm actually closer than I realized to that. All right, so I feel like for you, Libra, it's all about sitting down with yourself and asking yourself, well, like, what are my dreams? Like, I feel like a lot of you're just focusing on, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. You're not actually asking yourself, what are my dreams? What do I wish for in my life? What are the things that would make me feel happiest to have? Find the answer to that, and all the confusion lifts. Important messages for Libra in order to follow your dreams, please. Have faith in yourself that you can clear the confusion too, because, we see the cross coming through and then the clouds. So we're seeing that cloud imagery once again, that confusion, that, thick as smoke. Your brain sort of can't see things clearly, probably because you're overthinking it, very muchly so. All right, that is definitely the card of scattered thoughts and overthinking, that you're overthinking the negative scenarios, that you're not actually allowing yourself to hope and have dreams. So, have faith in yourself that that you have dreams that can be realized, that you have a reason to hope, that you have a reason to dream, that you deserve to dream. Okay. You've got a lot of responsibility on your shoulders at the minute. I can definitely feel that energy there, Libra, but we also see the clover. Start investing in yourself and investing in your own ability to dream, and take a chance on what would be my wildest dreams. If I could have anything come to life in my life right now, what would be my wildest dream that I want realized? And start just throwing yourself into the positive, hopeful energy with wild abandon, and that will actually make you realize that your dreams are actually full of promise and well within your own reach here. It's kind of like, the more that you're allowing yourself to overthink things and get swallowed up in those thoughts and sort of think, why spiral out of control with your thoughts down into negative consequences, the more that you're blocking yourself. It's creating a lot of clouds in your vision when it comes to the things that you are dreaming for in this world, Libra. So that's what we have for you. Make sure you leave a comment so you go in the draw for that free personal reading. We will move on over to our Scorpios. Okay. Scorpio, important messages for Scorpio to follow your dreams, Scorpio. What's important for Scorpio to follow their dreams, please? Ooh, I love this for you. We see some fiery energy here. Burning desire, crack in the facade and up in flames. Red hot, Scorpio. There's this someone around you, I feel, is the crack in the facade, yeah? And you're just waiting for that to go up in flames because it's not that you have the burning desire, but you have a burning desire to burn with the light of 1,000 suns. And this person is trying to contain your fire. Okay. And that's why the crack in their facade and them them going up in flames, it allows you to become uncaged. And, it's like someone's trying to contain your flame, trying to contain this burning fire within you, these desires that you have for your own dreams and wishes and goals. And it's like someone is trying to contain that and stop you from obtaining that, because it feels like, honestly, it feels like kind of like, it's not so much jealousy, but it's like, I don't want Scorpio to have that because I know that I can never have that. So it's kind of like trying to bring you down to their level, that they don't have the fire within them that you have. And so they're trying to dim your light, kind of thing. So you're just kind of waiting for this to go up in flames at this point so that you can start moving towards those dreams. Okay, important messages for Scorpio to follow your dreams. Cracking this facade, I feel like it's been showing for a while, and you've just been kind of waiting and waiting and waiting for it to Firstly, we have the nursemaid coming through here, Scorpio. This is talking about caring for yourself, especially because the next card I have is the fox. Okay, and the fox, he can be a bit tricksy. He can be clever and very intelligent energy, but for you, it's very intelligent energy in waiting it out a little bit, because you're just waiting for this person to, they've already got that crack in the facade. You're just waiting for them to go up in flames all by themselves, is what I'm kind of picking up here. And you're just taking care of yourself, and taking care of, I'm picking up the phrase for some of you, taking care of my own selfish needs, which you're kind of beating up on yourself a little bit, telling yourself that you're being selfish, but you're not. Okay. It's being independent. It's focusing on your own survival so that when this goes up in flames, that you're not going to get burnt. You are making sure you're making preparations, because that's what a nursemaid does as well. It makes preparations to make sure the fire is stoked and fed, but in a way that is in your best interests. All right, you're being very intelligent about this, and you're making sure that you're not going to get burnt by this when it goes up in flames, because it's kind of like this person's trying to drag you down with them, and you're not going to allow that. If anything, you're moving away from the situation altogether. We have the train here as well, which this is a very interesting energy. It does talk about travel and journeys being undertaken, but it also talks about sitting back and enjoying the ride. Okay, because you do not have to drive this train, Scorpio. A train is a passenger vehicle. A train is a sleeper vehicle. Yeah, that's what you're doing right now. That's the best way. The best thing for you to do right now is do nothing but watch, observe. You're enjoying the ride. Look out the window and check out the scenery. What's going past, what's happening. Taking a seat in that train. That's what's best for you right now, okay, when it comes to following your dreams. So I know that might mean different things for different people in different situations, but you're being asked to sort of take a seat and just watch just watch the show kind of thing. This person is going to burn themselves out, and you just need to make sure that you're not getting burnt by those flames, because you're utilizing those flames to, you've got dreams. This person doesn't. Okay, so this is, it feels like it's very clearly someone else around you here, Scorpio, that is trying to sort of bring you down, whether you know about this or not. All right, but you're kind of needing to sit back and enjoy the ride, because otherwise they, the more that you get involved and the more that you're trying to steer that train in, and change the tracks, then next thing you know, off the rails. Everything goes off the rails and we're on a different track. We don't know where things are going. They're not going in the way that we need them to, all right, which is towards your dreams. Yeah, okay, but that's what we have for you. Make sure you do leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading, and we will move on over to our Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, important messages for Sagittarius to follow your dreams. Ooh, picture perfect. New paths, the unknown. Pretty as a picture, Sagittarius. This is venturing into the unknown, that the dreams that you have, you don't even know these dreams yet. This is something that you haven't even explored that as of yet. It's a brand new pathway opening up to you, that something that you didn't know you dreamt of, but it's going to be the ideal thing for you. So, and I'm also hearing the phrase here too, that like to mention the fact that something, you normally hear something's too good to be true. But for you, it's not too good to be true. It's pitch perfect. It's picture perfect. It might look absolutely perfect, and you might have a lot of distrust for that, Sagittarius, thinking, oh, that can't be right because it looks too good to be true for me. But this time it is. This time it is. And it's scary because, you have a lot of distrust of the unknown, of maybe it's too good for me. Maybe it's too good to be true. But this is the new path. This is the new path that's opening up to you. New dreams that have not even been realized yet. Something brand new coming into your life, Sagittarius, that opens you up to a brand new dream. Okay. Sagittarius, important messages for Sagittarius in regard to following your dreams. Some of you have actually had actual dreams about this thing too, and just kind of passed it off as like, oh, that was weird. Oh, that was crazy. Like you didn't think anything of it. But it's trying to tell you. I'm just getting a very random message here. Random past here. I'll show you what I've got here. I've got the flowers, okay, which is all about giving and receiving. And then we have the masculine, followed by the mice, okay? And it's very interesting. These mice, I keep getting the word gluttonous. And this masculine in this particular deck, he looks like a ringmaster, like the greatest showman on earth kind of energy coming through there. You need to give to the man from the past, the man that it's kind of saying things like, this man will say things to you like, you don't want to lose this chance, you don't want to lose out on this opportunity. This is going to eat away. This is going to eat away at you if you don't do this. If you don't take this chance, it's going to eat away at you if you're not taking the risk. I just want to clarify that, please. Just clarify that for Sagittarius, please. Yeah, okay, so we have the all-seeing eye, the third eye, followed by the fireplace. So it like opens you up. It creates a new vision within you of something that you have this intense burning desire towards, something that sort of stokes some flame deep within you. But it opens you up to clarity. So it's kind of like asking you to give and receive to this man from the past. And for some of you, it's not even a man from the past. It's the man who has lost it all. It's the man who, the greatest, like he puts on a brave, like he's the greatest showman, right? He puts on a brave face, but he's lost it all. It's like giving. There's just something about the way that you see this person. It's not necessarily from the past, though. And I keep getting the word gluttony. It's gluttonous that's coming through. That might be relevant to some of you, but that's the mice card. So that for some of you, there's an actual relevance to actual mice. So like now I'm getting of mice and men. I think that might be a local Aussie band rather than a thing you guys might all know. There's my doorbell again. But yeah, mice as well. Okay, but make sure you leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading as well. And we will move on to Capricorn. All right. Okay, Capricorn. Important messages for Capricorn in order to follow your dreams. Following the dreams of Capricorn, we have a few signs have gotten this one already. We have Aries has had this one, as well as Cancer, possibly. We have the travel, promotion, reaching goals card coming through here. Distance, travel, leveling up, Capricorn, reaching those goals within your own self. I feel for a lot of you here, this is, I feel like this is emotional distance and emotional travel for a lot of you. Let's have a look and see what else wants to come through. Okay, important messages for Capricorn in order to follow their dreams and reach those goals, as we see there. A lot of communication. Okay, Capricorn, we do see the birds coming through first, which can talk specifically about chatter and conversations that are needing to take place, maybe a phone call for some of you. With this particular deck, I do always get the reference to the nest as well, coming home to the nest kind of thing, and needing to have those conversations about what's really close to you and what's important to have in your little nest, to make that nest as well, and we do see two birds in this particular one. So I do feel for a lot of you, there is a conversation that does need to take place. We do also have the child coming through, as well as the letter. So we see another communication card here, Capricorn, as well, which is, expressing yourself and communicating, whether it be through text, phone calls, in person. But we see the child in the center there. So for some of you, this may need to be a conversation with yourself and a child, or somebody who you maybe see as immature, younger than you, that kind of thing. But ultimately, it's all about having fun and just kind of enjoying the moment, going with the flow of the conversation rather than forcing the outcome. So the more that you're talking in a, and closing that distance through communication, the better it's going to be for you, Capricorn. I do feel the need to just clarify that a little bit for you here, Capricorn. Just clarify this message for Capricorn, please. Interesting. Pardon. So we see the lion as well as the stork. So both of those cards can actually talk about, family connection here as well. So, with the lion, we see references to having a pride. So once again, this is you taking charge. You're standing tall and strong. Pride seems to be important here as well, that you're taking pride and being very strong in the way that you're communicating and the way that you're expressing yourself. For some of you, this is definitely that kind of the pride of, family coming into play here, because with the child there, that is part of the tribe, I suppose, and then we do see with the stork as well that does reference pregnancy sometimes as well. So for some of you, there may be an important conversation that needs to happen in regard to a pregnancy, closing that distance, reaching that goal of achieving pregnancy for some of you here, or expanding your pride, allowing new little lions or lionesses into that pride, that kind of thing. The stork really does come up with new perspectives on how to be strong and how to stand strong, how to stand on business, Capricorn. The lion is a very strong energy for you, very similar to that bear energy that we do frequently see for you, Capricorn. The stork is, I do have the Aries card coming through there as well, and then the Leo card with the lion as well. So they may be important signs here. I do feel for a lot of you this has got to do with family in some way. It's leveling up. It's traveling. For some of you, you may be traveling to see family, or traveling to see someone to make family or connect to family in some kind of a way. So you alone know what your dreams really are, Capricorn, and how that truly connects for you personally. But there is just the need to express yourself and communicate in a very playful way. With the child there, it would definitely be with you're standing tall and strong in what you're saying, but you're also doing it in a adventurous kind of a way, a playful kind of a way, giving the benefit of the doubt kind of way. Understanding that somebody may not be quite as mature as you, and therefore, because I'm just getting someone, explaining something to somebody as though they are a child. So whether they are or are not an actual child, you may need to think about the way that you're communicating and expressing things as if you are speaking to a child, Capricorn. Okay, but please make sure you leave a comment so you go in the draw for that free personal reading, and we will move on over to Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius, important messages for Aquarius to follow your dreams. Okay, Aquarius, important messages to follow your dreams. Abundance, opportunities, moving along well. Everything is actually working out much better than planned. You can see the fish in the apple here, and it's kind of like the fruits of your labor. For a lot of you, they are coming through in the form of abundance. For a lot of you, this is actually monetary abundance as well, or an opportunity to move further along in monetary abundance. Okay, the fish quite often represents abundance and financial stuff, and then that card itself says abundance and opportunities. Things moving along well. So it's kind of like, the apple is like, you give that to the teacher to, ease the way, to make things work smoothly. So for a lot of you, there is this energy here of paying attention to the ways that you can smooth the edges of things in order to, push yourself closer to your dreams. But we'll have a look here as well, Aquarius. Okay, important messages for Aquarius to follow their dreams. I'm seeing a lot of references to money here. Okay, so we have the handshake, okay, the compromise, the contracts, making agreements, signing on to a new opportunity, okay, coming to some sort of agreement with somebody or with others, partnership, that kind of thing. So it does feel very maybe career related for some of you. You may want to go back and check out that career reading we have just done yesterday. That may have something in there for you. We also have the little piggy goes to market card. Okay, this is quite an interesting energy, especially when I've got that followed up with the whip. Okay, the broom. That is the whip. Okay, so that sometimes can talk about a little bit of conflict or drama, and it's the way that you're selling yourself, the way that you're putting yourself on the chopping block kind of thing, that the way that you're parceling out the pieces of yourself. So you do need to, come to some sort of agreements about the way that you are parceling yourself out to others. okay, that you're not, like this is literally the little piggy that, it is one thing now, but then it becomes something else and it parcels itself out and becomes others, like a whole range of other things, food. So it's kind of like understanding that things cannot stay the way that they are. If you want them to, progress to the next stage, you do need to send that little pig to the market and get it chopped up into little pieces. Sounds scary. But, that's part of the change that you're needing to adapt to here. Things are moving in the right direction, but you just need to be very careful about, what's going to what, like where this part of you is going and where that part of you is going, in order to avoid any conflict or drama or arguments. You need to have a very clear, we're starting off with that contract, that agreement. So we need that to be very clear, especially when it comes to, the division of labor and the what happens if conflict kind of stuff. The conflict resolution plans need to kind of be agreed upon before we start parceling ourselves out to all these different things, and then that opportunity will move things along in a very positive way for you. Okay, but make sure you leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading, and we will move on over to Pisces. Pisces, important messages for Pisces in order to follow your dream. Pisces, important messages to follow your dreams, Pisces. Tearing down the wall. Okay, another brick in the wall for some of you. There's a reference to the Pink Floyd song coming through there. Look beyond, building anew. Okay, sometimes in order to get to the other side of this giant brick wall that's in your way, you need to tear it down completely and restart from scratch. Break it down. Tear down those walls. Look beyond to what could be built if you start all over again. Okay, being prepared to build from scratch to keep things stronger. Okay, so there's an element here with, in order to take steps towards your dreams, Pisces, you may need to tear it down and start all over again. Okay, but let's have a look here with the Lenormand. Pisces. Important messages for Pisces in order to follow your dreams. Following the dreams of Pisces. Learn more about the situation. We have the book coming through first, Pisces. So needing to educate yourself further, learn more about the situation, learn more about, what you're asking of yourself, what you actually want that next chapter to look like, what you want that dream to look like in your real life. You need to learn a little bit more about what it is that you're actually asking for. Educate yourself. Some of you need to do some, research on, okay, well, if I do rip this completely down, how do I, what's going to be the best way and the easiest way to build that back up? But not being afraid of the work, because we have the mountain coming through next. So there may be some obstacles or delays that you do encounter. And that's why doing your research before you start, it's kind of like if you tear down these walls without doing the research, you don't know where to start from in order to rebuild. If you don't have that plan in place, and that's what the mountain is all about. It's putting those plans in place. It's the card of Capricorn for a reason, guys, because they are, very planned, organizational elements. So you're really needing to be willing to put in the hard work and persevere through whatever obstacles land in your lap, and know that even if there is obstacles or delays that challenge you with reaching your dreams, that you can get over those and find that achievement, find that rebuilt for you. Okay, we do see a lot of solid energy here as well, immovable energy, with the reference to bricks and the reference to the mountain there. But we also see this contract card coming through for you, Pisces. So, once you commit to the dream, then things, it helps you tear down those walls and start over again. And once you're actually fully committed to the dream that you have in yourself there, Pisces, you need to actually, do your research, fact check what you're actually asking for, and then fully commit to that, knowing that you're willing to put in the work necessary to have that. And then you will be following that dream. And with that, there may be some compromises. There may be, some partnership elements that you're having to, combine forces with somebody, those sorts of things, or contract, bricklayers, whatever that may be. That may be just one of the obstacles that you're having to face is, well, how can I get people on board with this, and compromising with others in order to move forward here. But that kind of shows us that, when we see that contract come through, that there is, yes, maybe some negotiations about what that goal is, what the dream looks like, but then, we're much more closer to actually realizing that dream for ourselves. Okay, for a lot of you, on the bottom of the deck, I've got some very love connected energies as well. So for some of you, that may actually be to do with love situations. Okay. But make sure you leave a comment on the video so that you can go in the draw for your for a free personal reading. Make sure you subscribe, of course, and I will see you all again soon.